We gotta stop pretending that Western intervention is ever about spreading freedom and liberty. US intervention has never primarily been about democracy or freedom at all. That is the PR, the branding, the marketing, the shield, the wolf in sheep's clothing that too many of y'all continue to fall for. Empire doesn't invade to liberate. They intervene to secure resources and military dominance and trade routes, political leverage, and to secure their interests, period. If this was about democracy, we'd actually have it fully functioning here at home in the US, and we do not. We wouldn't have voter suppression, corporate money controlling policy, billionaires shaping legislation. We also wouldn't have endless lobbying from defense contractors and tech billionaires who don't actually care at all about humans, who profit every time a bomb drops. Did you know that the Ball Corporation, which is famous for manufacturing the glass ball mason jars, they have a long history of involvement in aerospace and defense contracting? And that's not the only company that would have you be like, wow, wait a second, why are they working in defense? Let's talk some brief history, and it's not meant to be a comprehensive list, so don't be all, you forgot to mention this and that in my comments. Please read the room. So Iran, 1953, the US and Britain overthrow a democratically elected leader because he nationalized oil. Not because he was a dictator, because he threatened Western corporate interests. Guatemala in 1954, there was a coup after land reforms hurt an American fruit company, which is now known as Chiquita. Chile, 1973, the US destabilized and supported a military dictatorship after a socialist leader was elected. Iraq, we know about the quote-unquote weapons of mass destruction, and we know that turned out to be a lie. Hundreds of thousands were unalived in the region, and that region has been destabilized for decades, while defense companies have continued to make billions. Afghanistan, 20 years, trillions of dollars. Who benefited? Absolutely not the average Afghan citizen or the American taxpayers. This pattern isn't accidental, it's structural. Empires extract, destabilize, and they install governments that are favorable to their economic and strategic interests. Then they call it spreading democracy. So why do all this? Because when empires end, so does the ability to leech off other nations' labor and land and resources. That's why empires fight so hard to survive. That's why regime change is framed as humanitarian while there's literal bombs falling. We are told it's about saving women and saving gay people and saving freedom and liberating people from dictators. But if human rights was the actual standard, we wouldn't selectively care based on geopolitical value, and we would actually have them here in the US, and we wouldn't be on the human rights watch list. We are the pot calling the kettle black. And in the internet age, every war is global, economies are intertwined, information spreads instantly, proxy wars ripple through energy markets, food systems, migration patterns. There is no over there anymore. It's all connected. Billions of our tax dollars flow into military aid and weapons manufacturing, while people here can't afford healthcare or housing or education or food or daycare. They can't afford most things. That's not democracy. That is empire. This is about power and about a system that prioritizes dominance over humanity. If we actually believed in self-determination, we would let nations determine their own futures without coups or sanctions that starve civilians or military intervention dressed up as liberation. And we'd have that here in the US for marginalized groups as well. And empire everywhere, because freedom cannot and will never be delivered by a drone strike. If we want peace, we have to stop funding perpetual wars and allowing patriarchy to continue to persist and maintain control through violence and dominance. Until next time, y'all.